Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over to another year? Oh, what is this I cannot see with icy hands taking hold of me? Oh, death and death, none can excel. I open the doors to heaven and hell. Yes, I have come to get your soul and leave your body and leave it cold. To drop the flesh from on your frame, the earth and worm both have their claim. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? Now, death, if this is true, please give me time to reason with you. From time to time you heard and saw, so close your eyes and unlock your jaw.
Mukluk bobble, mukluk bobble, mukluk
I'll
bobble.
lock your jaw so you can talk. I'll fix your feet so you can walk. And I'll dim your eyes so you can see this very hour. Now come with me. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? Now, death, please give me time to fix my heart and change my mind. Your heart is fixed, your mind is broad. I'll have your shackles to drag you down. Too late, to all farewell. My dawn is fixed, I'm summoned to hell. As long as God in heaven shall dwell, my poor soul shall burn in hell. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another
One of them was really deep. That was fantastic. That was really, really good. I enjoyed that song. The V in the title is a nautical protractor. Yeah, I realized that early on in this playthrough. I mentioned that I thought it was a pair of scissors, and then someone pointed out and they're like, "No, it's a protractor." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see it now. It's the thing you use on a map to measure distances, or you make it walk like a funny little dude." Yeah. And yeah, because of that, I kind of thought he was going to kill someone with that, and maybe there was another, kill that could have happened that I didn't see where that was a possibility. But yeah, I don't know either. I'm also wondering, the lady at the end who was like, oh, we just got an all-expenses-paid trip. I wonder if maybe that invitation was sent to her to prepare, like, his next victims before everything that happened, went down, I like to think that the killer is dead, and he had just sent that invitation before he knew he was going to have all so much trouble with this batch, and then someone else picked up the mask. That's what I choose to believe right now. I was curious if there were multiple killers. No, it was all just one guy. But the guy was a copycat. The guy that was the killer in this game was a copycat killer of someone in the past. So maybe someone copycatted this dude. After credits, go to special features. I'll try to remember. I'm waiting to see what's at the end of the credits because someone said there was something good here. Maybe this Holmes was a real person. Yeah, Shy, I learned a lot about him during this. Yeah, so the dude with the bowler hat and the mustache and the murder hotel, that was apparently someone that was a real serial killer. It was like America's first known serial killer. And he was the one who said the line, "There was a devil in me. Bury me in concrete and bury me under concrete." And then this guy, made a replica of the murder mansion. And he was an FBI agent, and he kind of went crazy after talking to the Arkansas serial killer, and then he went crazy, and then also his mom died, and he kept her corpse and animatronicked it. So he was kind of a culmination of different crazy things. You choose to not believe in the paranormal. So it depends on the story. For example, one of the Dark Pictures anthology stories had straight up vampires. 100% paranormal existed in that one. In this one, there was nothing paranormal at all.
This is Commander Stafford.
Hold on.
Forward reconnaissance vessel Cassiopeia. After successfully rendezvousing with a Charybdis marker, we have detached the booster ring and spurts are high as we make our final approach to Tau Ceti F. The ship has suffered a hull impact, but damage is minimal, and our technicians are restoring full functionality.
This is Thomas Carter. Something's wrong with Sims. She's trying to kill me. I think...
Our next transmission will be broadcast from orbit around humanity's future home. Staff it out.
Directive 8020. Season 2 premiere. the moon's haunted. So Mahuya says you choose not to believe in the paranormal. So it depends on the story. If the story establishes paranormal, like for example, hold on, this is gonna get really loud, so I'm gonna close this. Give me just a sec. Okay. One sec. Okay, so in Man of Medan, they make you think that it's paranormal, and then at the end, the big twist is that it wasn't paranormal at all, it was science. And they reveal how it was done, and it makes sense, and it was pretty good. Little Hope, you think is paranormal, but it turns out the guy just took a blow to the head. And honestly, Little Hope was a great story with the worst ending. House of Ashes was straight up paranormal. There was freaking vampires. There was murder vampires. Okay, this was 100% paranormal. Devil and Me had no paranormal stuff through the whole thing. If you're saying the guy was a super ghoul and pieced himself back together after he was drowned, stabbed, sliced to ribbons in the boat motors, and then exploded against a rock, and he's like immortal or something, then that would be the first introduction of paranormal in this story, and I don't buy that they would just introduce paranormal there at the last second. So yeah, I could totally buy paranormal if it's like established in the story. This one, it was not established in the story. Maybe Michael got a day job with the FBI. Okay, review time chat. So quite some time ago, someone gifted me all of the Dark Pictures anthology. And anytime we just had a weird opening in the schedule, I decided to knock another one out. And this was the last. These games have multiplayer? Yes. But I think during, it basically like one person controls some characters, another person controls other characters. So you'd spend a lot of time waiting on the other person to do stuff. Okay, so where was I? Where was I? So we have now played all the Dark Pictures anthology, not necessarily in the correct order, but that's fine. These were pretty fun. I don't even love horror games, but bit by bit, I'm acclimating to them as you guys make me play more and more. There absolutely were some scares that got me in this one. One of the worst ones was the cat that jumped out of the cupboard. A lot of us jumped on that one. I saw it in chat. Terms of writing for this specific story, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed piecing together, like, oh, this guy was the Arkansas killer. Oh no, he's not the Arkansas killer. He's the guy who investigated the Arkansas killer, and then now he's a copycat. Like, oh, and then he was inspired by Holmes, the original serial killer. Like, I enjoyed piecing together the story for this. It was pretty good. I will say that in terms of when I play a Dark Pictures anthology game, and it gives you breadcrumbs of information, and then if you pay attention, you can get a lot of people out alive on the first try. And when I played Little Hope, there was this really dumb system where you had to delete their personality traits, and if you didn't, they would guarantee die. I did not understand that system at all. And it was like, if you're angry, you have to say something happy before X amount of time or you die. It was that kind of shit. It was really, really stupid. I'm glad they didn't do it in any other game. Great game, stupid ending. That system killed me. Man of Medan, I got nearly everyone out alive because, again, it was logical. It made sense. I heard scratching from the left. I go right. Maybe I should pick that up and look at it. You know what? There is nothing this could possibly do for me, and it might be a trap. I'm not going to touch that. Stuff like that. And it worked for most of Man of Medan. And I like that. House of Ashes. House of Ashes was less about puzzles and mostly quick time events just to survive the vampires trying to kill you. Devil and Me, I feel like the way that the save the people stuff was not as good as Man of Medan's. Like, for example, like the serial killer who traps the asthmatic in a room of dust, puts her in the dark, moves the walls, fills it with dust. She's choking, she's dying, she's screaming for help. He comes out in his full serial killer costume. And it's like, reach out for him because he's holding your inhaler, or try, do a sneak attack. And I was like, he's locked me in a room away from everywhere else. I'm choking to death. I'm losing strength. I'm never going to be stronger than this one moment. And it was like, it made fully logical sense to me to make a move. Like, he's here to kill me. Why would he not be here to kill me if he set all this up? I need to fight back. But then fighting back gets you killed. I still, in this moment, think that was a dumb setup. And it's like, and people are like, oh yeah, apparently she lives if you take the inhaler. And it's like, really, out of the kindness of his heart, he gives you the inhaler. He sets all that up, then gives you the inhaler and walks away. Like, what? So that blows my mind. However, since I got her killed, I got to see one of the most horrifying images in the game that I guess I would have missed otherwise. The thing with the, what was it? The thing with the screwdriver. That one, I feel, is my fault. I was given enough information to solve that. I didn't figure it out in time. That's on me. And that's a bummer. I came to a conclusion, and I followed the wrong thread of logic, and so it didn't work out. I'm still mad that while the wall was moving in the other direction, the girl didn't try anything. She just stood there. I'm pissed she didn't attempt anything. And then, what was the other one? Charles. Charles and the fire thing was the other person I lost. That one also, to me, felt really stupid. Charles was... For anyone who missed it, he was in a room, and it was, like, setting on fire. And it was like, do you want to try the door or try the grate? And before the cutscene had begun, he had tried the door and couldn't get out. And then he went over and tried the grate, and it didn't budge. So both he didn't have any luck with, then the room erupted into fire. So it's like, grate or door. And you choose one of them, and he messes with whatever you click on. The fire gets worse. And then it says, grate or door. You choose another. If you, according to chat, if you click grate the first time, it doesn't move at all. Then if you click Great the second time, he manages to get it loose, and I don't know if he just climbs to safety or what, but he gets out alive. I tried Door, didn't budge. I tried Great, didn't budge, and died. And I feel like you didn't do great. I did not do great. I feel like the game never provided you enough information to solve that other than luck. Unless I missed something. For example, the first time you pull on the grate, if it had jostled a little, then I'd be like, oh, it's loose. I should try this again. But it didn't. It didn't jostle at all. I felt like his death was unfair. Again, the screwdriver with the girls, I felt like that was totally fair, and I just didn't figure it out in time. But I felt like Charles' death was unfair because the grate didn't move, the door didn't move, and I was supposed to know. It was like choose A or B, and then choose A or B again. And you had to choose A 2 times in a row to live. If you choose AB or BB or BA, you die. And I feel like that was not great. I feel like that was not great. Let's see. I think the guy's feet kind of scraping on the grates was the clue for that scene. Maybe. I guess so. But I would say that the clue, again, the screwdriver, after the fact, I'm like, I see it now. I missed that. The fire one, after the fact, even now, hours later, I'm just like, what the hell? What was I supposed to do there? How was I supposed to know to do that? You know? Let's see. To expand on the flame room, there was a premonition picture that you could have found that you didn't that foreshadowed Charlie's death if you tried to force the door, which would have been good. Yeah, I didn't find that one. Charles also could have not been a complete piece of garbage. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he was a complete piece of garbage, but he was certainly not a nice dude. Honestly, I think the biggest negative personality trait he had was when Aaron went missing and he kind of was like, all right, let's resume filming. Like, up until that point, he had just been kind of like a lame boss. And then at that point, he was just kind of like, wow, Charles, really? Are you serious? Are you going to watch any other endings? Let's see what we can find. Let's see. The Devil in Me game endings. All right. Let's see what we could find here. The first ultimatum... 2 ultimatums. Kate and Mark have to be the only characters alive before the game's lighthouse scene. At that point, the latter will wake up in a cell, while the former will have herself strapped to a pipe full of acid. What the fuck? From this position, the game's antagonist Dumet gives players a choice. They can either call the next group of victims to the island, or refuse. Taking the first option sends the action towards one of the Devil in Me's bad endings. After players discover that the man they originally believed to be Dumet faced the same choice, a series of events that mirrors the game's opening chapter plays out. Mark will phone the next group of victims, guide them to the hotel, then attempt to leave with a released Kate. Attempt to leave. The Devil in Me's first ultimatum ending is arguably the worst one players can get, partly because Mark becomes complicit in Dumet's twisted fantasy. Bringing the next group of victims to the island feeds the mythos behind H.H. Holmes and his status as America's first serial killer. To make matters worse, following a conversation with the curator, Dumet kills Mark and Kate with a sniper rifle. Which might be how he killed Dumet and his daughter on the boat. Second ultimatum ending. Refusing to be a part of Dumet's scheme sends players toward the Devil in Me's second bad ending. As soon as Mark refuses to call the serial killer's next victims, the latter instantly kills Kate with the acid. Poisonous gas is also released into Mark's cell, finishing off the crew for good. Although the dog players encountered earlier in the game swims to safety, yay! It's revealed that Dumet has already moved on to a new house and set of victims. Boat endings. Okay, so this is like the boat jostling, and they're still alive here. To be able to reach any of Devil in Me's happier endings, players need to keep the majority of the film crew alive until the lighthouse scene. Doing so will allow the survivors to escape the murder hotel island on boat. Taking inspiration from all good slasher villains, though, Dumet catches up to the crew and engages them in several quick-time event battles before they reach freedom. How many of the Devil in Me's protagonists survive this encounter depend on the player's reflexes. Misplaced button presses can majorly impact how good the final result is. Everyone, including the aforementioned dog, can still die before the final chapter ends. Provided some survive, though, they'll eventually reconcile on the beach before explaining the events of the game to the police. In every ending, it's implied that Dumet doesn't die during the boat scene no matter what happens to him on screen. Beyond cutting away to another group of apparent victims, a gloved hand is shown picking up his trademark mask. The curator is also visibly frustrated that he doesn't get to cross out the killer's name, a reaction that prompts an unseen force to shake the halls and doors of the repository. Huh. So I was struggling to read the curator's cursive handwriting there at the end, so that's what that moment was. The Dark Pictures anthology Devil and Me, now available on blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then here's all the possible things he could say. Talks about the news report, a young woman showing her friends her viral video, blah, blah, blah. All right. Check out the Directive 8020 Steam trailer. Okay, we can do that. Let me see. What is this? This is Neo 2, chat. I was looking at Neo 2 recently. Let's see. What is it called? 8020. All right. It's less than 2 minutes long. Okay. Wait. What did that say? From the studio behind The Quarry and Until Dawn. How did I feel about those? Hang on a second. Until Dawn was the kids that were being really stupid, right? They were in the house. They were in the house, and they were just trying to live until the sun came up. The Quarry was the one that had like Wendigos, I think. Oh no! Until Dawn was the camp. Oh, Until Dawn was like werewolf people, right? Yeah. Okay. We played so many horror games. Until Dawn was like werewolves. Quarry was... Wait, do I have that backwards? Until Dawn was the Wendigos. Quarry was the werewolves. God damn it. Oh, that's right. Hackett Quarry. Hackett Quarry Summer Camp. And it had the werewolves. Okay. All right. God, I played all these back to back. I was trying to remember them apart. Wait, what did that say? Happy Wake Up Day. Okay, immediately thinking that this is one of those things where people are like on ice, like they're cryogenically frozen until they reach a destination.
Status report.
Looks like it penetrated through there. We need to inspect the hull damage first.
Doesn't look too bad.
Doesn't look too good either. What is that?
You feeling all right?
My body's going one way and my mind's going another.
Is that Steve-O?
What is that? This ship is infected with an alien organism. It still doesn't feel real sometimes.
Never forget why you started. Lord have mercy.
Do you think Williams knows more about this substance than he's letting on? You can't take any chances with him.
It can manipulate its physical appearance. It's changing its cellular structure. It's replicating the human form. It's replacing us.
I know this will be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth.
Makes me think it's like a mimic or something. I'm looking in the the reflection of her helmet. It's like big old spindly legs. God, that looks like I'm gonna hate that. All right, I'll add it to my wish list. Okay, all right. Well, again, we have finished the final current Dark Pictures anthology game. Devil and Me, pretty good. I've already commented about the things I didn't care for in the game, but overall, I enjoyed piecing together the story and figuring out the mystery, and that was The Devil and Me. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing us being uncomfortable.